After a heavy rain or even a melting of the snow, and you see those flood warnings going across the bottom of your TV, well, do you ever wonder what the state of Ohio is doing to prevent a major flood in your area? Well, joining us this morning with that answer is Darren Lautenschlager, Public Affairs Administrator with the Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
All right, first off, what is the Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District, and where is it located?
Well, that's a super long name for a local division of government that was established in the 1930s to help reduce the effects of flooding in the Muskingum River watershed and provide water for beneficial uses. And it's located in eastern Ohio, and it takes in a portion of all or portions of 27 counties just south of Cleveland.
What exactly is a watershed, and how does it help reduce flooding?
Well, a watershed is an area where all of the rainwater eventually drains to, and in the Muskingum River watershed, that means all of the rainwater drains eventually to the Muskingum River. The watershed itself takes in a portion of more than 8,000 square miles, so it's a big area, and all of that water off of rooftops, concrete, asphalt, it eventually all drains to the Muskingum River.
Wow. And there are 16 dams, and 10 of those are lakes that you speak of that we just talked about in the Muskingum Watershed District. What are the lakes known for?
Lakes are known for everything. Most people actually know the lakes for recreation, whether they're coming to camp, boat, fish, hike, bike, you name it. But there's a bigger story there, and that's because those lakes hold water temporarily for the eventual drain downstream.
All right, now we often have the Soil and Water Conservation District on here. Now, how are you different from them?
Okay, well, the state has 88 counties, and there are Soil and Water Conservation District offices in nearly all of those counties, and they do and promote programs that help improve soil and water conservation programs, or to make your soil managed correctly and to keep water clean. Our agency helps reduce the effects of flooding and manage water safely for the safe release downstream. And we actually work together because when there's safe, clean water on the surface, we're both doing our jobs correctly.
Now, is that a flooding picture that we're looking at?
That is downtown Marietta during the Great Flood of 1913.
That's not Venice?
No.
Okay.
No. But that was the mode of transportation during the Great Flood of 1913.
Wow.
And what happened was folks got together and decided something must be done, and the Muskingum River eventually drains to Marietta. That's kind of the final point, and where it meets the Ohio River. So eventually a plan was adopted to put into place 16 reservoirs and dams, and that was the very first plan of its kind in the entire United States that used permanent pools of water, or what we call lakes, as part of a flood control system.
What's the operation like when it comes to dams and reservoirs? I mean, it has to be a pretty big operation to prevent stuff like that.
It really is, and the federal government is our partner through the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They run the dams, so they open and close the gates for the safe release of water downstream, and then our agency manages the water behind, or the reservoir areas behind those dams, for water conservation, recreation, among those things,
right,
and flood control.
Now, you know, going back to Katrina and what the flooding did in those areas, I don't think people really realize that things like that picture that you showed at the turn of the century, that can happen here.
Yes, it could. And in fact, that flood itself is still the greatest natural disaster in the state's history. You had nearly 500 deaths and property damage that's phenomenal today in today's dollars.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Wonderful information. If you want to get more information, go to that website, mwcd.org. Well, coming up on Live on Lakeside, Councilman Zach Reed's going to be here talking about his opposing thoughts of Issue 107. Plus, Matt Granite with another great ways to save. And now we're going to send it over to Amanda in Studio A with today's news. Amanda?
Hey, Michael, coming up today at